Good afternoon, Nici.
Good afternoon.
Good. So, another podcast. I'm back in London again. It's good to see you.
The same.
Yeah, good to see you. So, we're going to talk about Alrik today, what Alrik's all about.
Nice.
So, obviously, our listeners probably haven't heard of Alrik and they probably don't know who you are. So, let's do some quick introductions. People will know who I am. I'm Neil Bravery, the Commercial Director for the Hire Association Europe. And I'm with Nici, the CEO and founder of Alrik Technologies.
That's true.
And you've flown in from
Stockholm today.
Stockholm.
Yeah.
Nice and local.
But this feels like my second home now.
Yeah. Good.
In the UK, 50% of my time. Not so much in central London, but the UK and Ireland. Yeah.
So we're in Soho now, aren't we? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Soho
Pretty much.
District,
Yeah.
Good.
Banging target. Yeah.
Good. Okay. So I think the format today, Nici, would give our listeners an idea of obviously your background, because this is a new business venture for you and how it all started. And then we'll try and get into the detail about Alrik. What's it all about? What are you trying to revolutionize in our hire industry, and really how you can help the industry and help our members? Yeah. So let's start with you, Nici.
Yeah.
Let's start with your background.
Okay.
Give us a gentle walkthrough about how you ended up here today, but where did it all begin, and obviously you've not been in probably IT initially, I don't know, but over to you.
I mean, I haven't been in the construction industry my whole life. My background is from a tech startup, and also so basically, actually, yes, IT, tech, and banking. But I mean, the jobs I had in the beginning of my career were kind of more to get the toolbox to build a life on. And then from there, I always knew that I wanted to build something for generations to come, something important and something that I was the founder of and kind of lived the rest of my life with building. I always knew that. So I'm not surprised at all that I'm here.
Okay, it sounds very exciting.
Yeah.
And obviously that foundation you mentioned briefly there, investment banking, that sort of give you an idea from sort of the finance side, knowing if you have to do a startup, you're going to need to get investors.
Yeah, I think if you work for an investment bank or a big consultancy firm or any big company, I think you learn the basics, and then you can use those basics or that toolbox or whatever you want to call it to do whatever you want. Yeah, you get a better understanding of a full spectrum of things. So it's not necessary, but it's the way I did it, and it's worked pretty good so far.
So you're sat as CEO now.
Yeah.
Huge responsibility. Yeah. Obviously investment behind you to get the Alrik business out of the ground. Obviously we'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the podcast. It clearly is doing very well. So as a CEO, what does that daily routine look like as a CEO?
It's very, very much not fancy.
It sounds fancy. It sounds really good.
It's not fancy. I spend most of my time with customers, with building relationships. Yeah. Basically doing sales is what it is. The other part that I spend a lot of time on is building a team and making the team work well together, making sure everybody's happy with what they're doing, feeling important, motivated, and so on.
Yes.
And then I would say that's most of my time, and then the last 20% is just buying a cord to a computer, meeting a fancy investor in New York, or whatever it might be. A big spectrum. Yeah.
And I suppose in any business, it really is about managing the people. If you get the team right, the customers, I've always said the customers actually quite the easy bit. It's getting that team culture.
I don't know. I think it can be really, really hard to get customers in the beginning. I mean, it's hard enough to, when you start out, you have nothing, right?
Yeah.
Nobody knows who I am in this space. Nobody knows about Alrik as a company. Yeah. Often people don't even know that they have a need for our products before we actually enlighten them or educate them on the topic. So when you start out, you have to find a problem to solve in an industry that you think is important and feels important to you.
Yes.
And has impact on many people. That's at least the way I think about it. And then you have to see if there's somebody that you can solve this problem for. And then you have to build a product to solve the problem. And then you have to get somebody to use that product to solve their problem. And then you have to get that person or those people to pay for it as well. Yeah, it's a long and tricky road. So I mean, at least as a startup, getting the customers is not easy. On top of that, you obviously need to build a team that can work together as well. But I wouldn't say that is more hard than getting customers in the beginning. Hopefully that changes over time. I don't know.
But I suppose the extra challenge for you is because you're not from the UK and you're trying to get into the UK market. It's about trying to get that brand recognized.
Yeah.
They're all challenges, and clearly you are sort of breaking doors down and you are making progress. What do you think separates, people who succeed versus those that just don't and just fail and give up? You've obviously got there's a certain piece in the DNA here.
Neil, I wouldn't know because I haven't succeeded yet, I would say, in my mind.
But you've got that goal to success though, haven't you?
Yeah, for sure. I'm super humble. I hope that the road to success is, persistence, quality in everything you do, integrity, and hard work. Because that's what I try to focus on and build a team around and build a company around. I don't know yet if it's a recipe for success, but I hope so. Yeah.
But you're going to give it your best shot.
What do you think? Of course.
Of course you are.
Yeah.
Okay. Right, let's get under the hood, Nici. Alrik. I'm going to guess most high companies, well, I would say all of the high companies in the UK, if I said to them, have you heard of Alrik? They're going to go, never heard of them, don't know what it means.
No.
Is Alrik a name that's from the Nordics that you could explain? How did you come up with the name? And then lead on from there about what is Alrik?
To be super honest with you, it was a 5-letter word that was available as a .com.
Really? Okay.
So that was, I would say, the first reason we took the name.
Something short.
Yeah, something short, snappy. Just I like it. It happens to mean all ruler or noble ruler. That was not the intention. I mean, we didn't choose it because of that.
Just by chance.
Yeah, it might actually sound a bit arrogant, but it's just the way it is. It's also, if I'm going to be a bit personal here, it's also in honor of my great-grandfather.
Okay.
His name was Alrik. He was a very successful entrepreneur, and he was also, as I've learned, a very liked person.
Okay.
So there are several reasons why we're called Alrik. But
it fits then, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's, yeah, for sure.
It fits.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've gone from investment banking. You've had this need to come up with something, a product to solve a problem. So when did this light bulb moment and you thought, I know what I should be looking at and trying to do?
Yeah. When we started out as a company, we started doing research, and the research meant meeting people in the industry.
So this is construction and hire, or
no? This was coming from the outside. You start with the contractors or the builders, because that's what you know, right?
Yeah.
Quickly understood, or this is sort of the light bulb moment, that for quite some time it's been pretty easy for them to order the materials or the machinery or the tools or the equipment that they need. So as a supplier, you can't compete on that anymore, like stock and availability and a relationship, because more or less everybody has that.
Yeah.
The demand has shifted beyond that from the construction side to, and they are pressured as well. They are sort of lagging in productivity development. The margins are low. The downside is pretty big if there's a disruption in the supply chain or whatever work process that they have. So they now more and more require precision in delivery. They require real-time information on deliveries or everything connected to the supply chain so that their workflows flow well, right? So that was sort of the light bulb moment, because that means that the suppliers that are more or less always responsible for the transports to the sites and also from the sites in the context of hires, they need to step up to be able to cater to the developing demands of the contractors.
Okay.
Yeah.
So to be clear for our listeners then, so you've, and obviously I don't want to sort of steal the conversation here, but you've created a digital product that's going to help the hire companies in the UK essentially, if I get this right, automate their transport via their ERP system.
Yes.
Expand on that.
Yeah, for sure.
A bit of a lead in for you.
Yeah, but in order to be able to cater to what the customers want, like your customers, the hire industry's customers, what they want, you cannot continue running your operations and your transport handling on paper notes, phone calls, whiteboards, and clunky ERP modules.
But they do, Nici.
But they do.
They still do, Nici.
Yeah, and I know that, and that's why I am here.
Yeah.
So yes, we are a software system that sits on top of your ERP, and you use our platform or system or whatever you want to call it to manage your transports to the customers and back. And with transports come a lot of other things. It's also communications with the customer. It is having control of your fleet, your drivers, your branch network, if you're more than one branch. It's being able to serve your customers, meaning that when they call you and ask a question, you can quickly answer them. For example, where are my goods? Where's my machine? Stuff like that. Performance analytics and emissions reporting. Basically digitizing the whole analog system that most hires,
pens and paper,
that most hires still today base their business on. And if you try to compete going forward, you will completely go under as a team unless you have better tools and are better prepared to serve your customer.
Okay, so if I'm a hire coordinator, a depot manager in a branch, I've got my manual paperwork system, which most hire companies still do have. Would I be right in saying that I would then feed all the deliveries into your system? And I know when we met first thing this morning, you talked about AI. That AI would support and help coordinate what it felt was the correct order in which to do deliveries in with the most efficient, but taking into account the customer demand, because some customers say that I need it there at 8 o'clock in the morning, or I'm happy for my delivery to land anytime AM or anytime PM before a certain time. If you're feeding that information in, and the AI, I would imagine, would deal with that. Would that be right?
Yeah, for sure. AI comes into the picture in many places, but one of the kind of use cases is especially important if you have a lot of deliveries to do, and you have several vehicles to do those deliveries. And say you have, dozens or even 50 to 100 orders that you're going to ship in one day. Just the time to split those orders out onto the different vehicles and drivers is something that is a half-time job.
Yes.
Right?
Especially in a busy depot in the morning when you've got possibly customers walking in, but you're also trying to coordinate the transport going out all at the same time.
Yeah. So what our system does is that it integrates to your ERP. It knows in the morning exactly what orders you have, at least at that point in time. And then you click one button and it populates the routes, the trucks, and the drivers for the full day. And on top of that, because we know it's a very dynamic part of the value chain where stuff happens during the day, right?
Oh, you can have the best laid plans, and then one phone call changes the morning.
Yeah. customers change their mind, they want to add something, they want to take something away, there's a new delivery address or whatever it might be.
Breakdown.
A
That can normally kill the morning. Just a
yeah,
breakdown.
for sure. Stuff like that. So you need to not only be able to quickly populate the routes and plan for the day, but also have a tool to edit the routes and make adjustments in an efficient way during the day. And whenever you do those adjustments, that's in real time. Also, that information is also shared in real time with the stakeholders that need to have that information, be it the customer, be it the other branch manager, be it the transport manager, or be it the driver, stuff like that.
Okay. So you're trying to make inroads into the UK. You're clearly successful in the Nordics.
Yep.
Have you got any sort of case studies you could share with our listeners to give to add some sort of context to it? It must be working for hire companies in the Nordics right now.
Absolutely. Our biggest customer is the second largest rental company in Northern Europe, called Renta.
Okay.
It's a pretty young company, and in just 15 years of time, they have become the number 2 in the whole region. It's fantastic. They have a very clear vision, clear view, and very good capital partners. Pretty aggressive and very forward-leaning in terms of adopting new technology and being efficient. And they became a customer 2 years ago, and is now our absolute best case study for the rental space that we have.
So just talk us through what happened. Obviously, you had them as a target customer potentially.
Yeah, for sure.
Gone to see them, give them a bit of a trial, I presume.
We did. We started out with a trial in the south of Sweden with 12 depots.
Okay.
It was a trial just for 4 weeks, 6 weeks, something like that. They were super happy, and then in the next 2 months, we rolled out across the other 60. So in total, roughly 80 depots across Sweden. And then fairly quickly after that, we deployed also in Denmark, where they are also a very big player. And the key reason they needed us, because number one, what you get as a hire company when you apply Alrik is that you get control of your fleet and your drivers, and you reduce the transport costs. That's like the boring part.
Well, it's not it may sound like the boring part, but for the listeners of the podcast today, when you say reduce the transport costs, as you've literally have just said there, that's what our members want to hear, because transport costs constantly rising, fuel costs. Obviously, we're in a crisis with oil and the war in Iran at the moment. Fuel costs are rising, the cost of vehicles is rising, the maintenance costs are rising. Now, there are most hire companies out there are doing well just to break even with their transport costs versus the transport that they're bidding out to their customers. So if Alrik can manage that process and make it more streamlined and show some efficiencies in there, that's going to be music to hire companies' ears in the UK.
I would actually be impressed and a little bit surprised if people actually knew sorry, I meant to say that I would be impressed and a bit surprised if they actually know that they are break even, because that means that they have some sort of knowledge or control over it. That's from our experience. People don't even have that knowledge. They don't know if it's a break even or if it eats away on the sale margin or if it adds to it. So that's if that's the kind of state of the market, I think that's not too bad. But there's a lot of margin that you can stop giving away by knowing in more detail where the transport cost comes from.
I'd just like to go back to Renta.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a really good success story. So they've been with you for 2 years.
Yeah.
What are they saying? What's the feedback from Renta? Because clearly this is, I would say, revolutionised their transport in their hire business across multiple depots over a large geographical area. What's the feedback? What's been the initial feedback versus the feedback 2 years in?
I think it's very much to their expectations. They have 27% better utilization rate on their fleet.
Okay.
In their case, it's been that they've been able to reduce the fleet and have the same amount of orders or shipments that they do.
So more efficient on that
More
utilization.
efficient, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So that's the cost reduction part.
Yes.
Then they've had upside as well in terms of more revenue, because the amount of phone calls from customers to them has reduced by roughly 70%. So the admin has gone down for the sales teams by roughly the same amount, which means that you suddenly have freed up a lot of time from the sales teams that used to take unnecessary admin calls from the customers.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of admin work attached to that, like, for example, just figuring out the answer to the customer.
Yeah.
Now they have the answers at their fingertips, or the customer doesn't even call at all, which means that me, as a salesperson or a person in the sales team, can actually focus what I am supposed to focus on: customer-facing activities, chasing new business, whatever it might be. So they're both seeing the cost reduction and more sales. And on top of that, like cherry on the top, is that they are now in a very good position to bid for the big projects, because there's a requirement from those bigger projects that you have to be able to report emissions efficiently, connected to the transports.
Okay.
And all of those three things they get from Alrik.
Okay. So for our members in the UK, within the Hire Association, yes, we have a large national businesses, but they're outweighed by all of the independent hire companies. So we've got some really strong regional players that may have 6, 10, 15 depots.
Yeah.
Clearly, it would still work
for sure
for that size of business as well. Not necessarily for the big boys.
Yeah.
It can also work for the smaller businesses.
Absolutely, yeah. We have customers across the whole range. So everything from a one pop shop, or whatever you call it, to the big nationals being Renta, for example.
So it's kind of it's an education piece, isn't it, really, to move away from that manual side of the transport, because every hire company in the UK now will be using an ERP computer system to do their contracts. But as you quite rightly said, they've still got the paper piece running alongside.
I mean, I hope you recognize this, but what we've seen is that people are, like, in the industry, typically have been in the job for quite some time. They've done it the same way for 10, 20, 30, even more sometimes.
Yes. Probably.
They have done it their way, and it's been working, right? So why do I need something else?
That's the pushback you'll probably get.
Yeah, it is, exactly. Like, I've done this job for 37 years now. I've used the whiteboard, the daybook, the phone calls, the paper notes, whatever, and it's working. So why do I need something else? So that's the beauty of our business, because it's very hard, because you get that pushback, and believe me, we've gotten some hard pushback sometimes, like, take your app and go that way.
Yeah.
But so that's hard in that sense, but it's easy in the sense that if you get through the door, and from my experience, getting through the door, you do if you're humble and you ask questions, and whenever we ask questions about how you run your business, people typically love to talk about that.
Yeah, of course they do. They're proud of their business.
And the beauty then is that when we actually get them in front of the computer, we almost physically put them in front of the computer and say, here's the Alrik platform. Try to plan a route here instead of on that paper.
Yeah.
And they do it, and in a very short amount of time, they're like, that's fantastic. Axel, my co-founder, once got one person telling him that, Axel, this is the bloody Nobel Prize.
That's what you want to hear.
Yeah, and that is from a guy that almost gave us the finger when we first arrived at the door. So it's really hard, but it's also easy in the sense that once they actually see how they could work, they're sold.
Okay. Yeah. So for our members, if they wanted to sort of try the Alrik platform, obviously you've got a UK team now based in the UK that can go out and visit them and leave them with a piece of software onto their computer. I don't know how that would work, but you can do that?
Yeah, it's this is like, we call it teamwork. We are the opposite of just selling you software and then say goodbye. The opposite of that. We have to be very close to the customer, not only when we sell to them, but as they go along. So what we typically start with is a 30-minute call where we more or less ask you about your business.
Yeah. How
do you run it? Yeah. How many branches?
Yep.
How many vehicles do you have? What type of customers do you have? Do you have any inter-branch collaboration? What ERP do you have? Stuff like that.
Yep.
And based on that, we fairly quickly can build an idea of how we should adapt our product to your operations. Step 2 is that we show them a demo of the platform. And before that, we typically ask them to send us some fake orders or some order data, so we can show what it would look like to you in your day-to-day life.
Okay.
We do the demo, and then we say, now we take a break. 1 week later, we come back a third time. Then we have a proposal for a project, which is basically, okay, now we need to figure out what ERP you have, how we would integrate to that so that we can get the sales order data into Alrik in a very efficient way.
Yep.
And this is the 2 to 3 week process that we need to do until you are live in the pilot. So it's a few weeks of meetings and work, but it's not demanding at all to get going. And we typically offer you to do a pilot, and we suggest you do it for 1 branch or 2 branches to start with.
Okay. So it's not necessarily a one-size-fits-all product. You do sort of shape it for the size of the hire company, how they do their systems. We've talked a lot about the ERP, so I'm guessing in no particular order, Point of Rental, Inspire, MCS, HireHop, etc., etc. It integrates with all of those platforms.
Everybody is unique. They always have their own unique setup operationally for transports, etc., etc. So yes, it's not always a bit bespoke, but we say that we have the complete kind of project, or the complete we say toolbox, but we always need to make sure that it's adapted to your business.
Yeah,
super important.
We touched earlier on in the conversation, so I want to go back to it ever so slightly. So the carbon reporting, clearly for the larger organisations, that members of the Hire Association, they need to have that sort of that data for their larger clients. Does that work seamlessly within the platform? I presume you would upload what type of vehicles they have, large HGVs down to small vehicles.
Yeah, just like that. But that's a one-time thing. You upload what vehicles you have, and what drivers you have, and potentially what third-party couriers you have, or whatever it might be. And once you've done that, the pulling out of a report, or pulling out a report, or reporting to a third party like your customer, that's a one-click.
Oh, very simple.
Yeah, because all the drivers have the Alrik app on their phones. You as a manager, branch manager, transport manager, wherever it might be, you have your interface, and in the interface, you have the statistics page and reporting page, and everything is just a one-click.
Okay. Yeah. So one of my questions, what's next for Alrik? Well, clearly you want to break into the UK market. You want to show what this platform can do. You're in the Nordics. Let's roll on 12, 24 months. You're going to be in the UK. Where do you see it going from there? Is this going to be worldwide?
Well, first of all, we already have a few customers in the UK. And I would say, I mean, given just in 5 years or 4 years since we started, we've already become more or less a market standard for the leading hire companies and builder merchants in the Nordics. And I expect the same thing to happen in the UK. It's not going to be easy. It's not going to happen by itself. But the similarities between our markets are very, very big. I'll say the overlap is 90%.
Okay.
And given that, I think I don't really see a reason why this should not be something that goes global. But given the amount of kind of quality, or what do you say, given the amount of effort, frankly, that goes in to a collaboration with the customer, I think it will not go fast, right? It takes time.
Yeah, slow and steady.
Yeah, slow and steady. So that's what I see for now. Right now, our biggest focus is to make this big as a success that we have seen in the Nordics, also in the UK.
Okay.
Both for the higher industry or the higher vertical and the builder merchants.
Okay. So, Nici, if there was one key message that you give our listeners today, we've talked a lot about the product, talked a lot about your background. What would you think it would be? What would you want to say to our listeners listening today? Well, those on Spotify and those actually watching it on our channel. What would you want to say to them?
It's your customers are under pressure to be more efficient and productive, and you need to be prepared to support them in that.
Okay.
And you're not if you're still paper notes, phone calls, etc.
Slightly different question. So someone starting out in the IT industry today, tech, AI's everywhere. Bit of advice for someone thinking of taking that leap of faith?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, just make sure that it's something that you care about.
Okay.
Because given how hard it is, you want to make sure that you really care about it and that you have fun along the way. Otherwise, you will never make it.
Okay.
It's just too hard.
Okay.
Yeah.
AI, should we be scared of it? Should we embrace it? Should we be running a mile? Is it going to become it feels like it's everywhere now already.
Yeah.
What do you think?
No, don't be afraid of it. Our customers already use it. It's just a way of making you be able to focus on progression and the fun stuff rather than doing the tedious, boring stuff. Just see it as that.
Let it do the hard work.
Yeah, let it do the hard work, the grunt work, or whatever you call it. And then you can focus on refining it, or refining the results that it gives you.
Okay.
And use the extra time that you get to talk to customers and find improvements to make in your operations or wherever it might be. But don't be afraid of it, because it's already here and it's going to be coming in more. I'm 100% sure of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can relax a bit now. Some fun stuff.
Yeah.
Some fun stuff, Nici. Right. Okay. So
finally.
Yes.
Because it's been so boring so far.
Right. If you were a teacher and you had to teach a class tomorrow, what would it be on?
It would be on country music.
Oh, really?
Yes.
On country music?
Yes.
Enlighten me. Come on. You're a big country music fan.
Yeah, it started. I lived in Australia for 2 years.
Okay.
In 2005 to for 2 years.
Yeah.
And I had such a shitty car. It's a Holden Nova from '89.
Yeah.
It could only get one radio channel to work.
And it was country.
It was Tweed Coast Country Channel from a small part of the eastern part of Australia called Wollolumba.
Okay.
And the commercial was only one commercial all the time. It was somebody selling tires off a beach or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's how I got into country. And when I moved back to Sweden and the UK, I started listening to that channel online.
Yeah.
And now it's just been a big passion of mine for the last 21 years.
Who would have guessed it?
Country I don't know.
Music.
No. And I don't know, do you have I mean, in Sweden, it's not really called country music. It's called dansbandsmusik, which basically means very traditional folk dancing music. Do you have a similarity, or do you call it country music?
I think it'd be country music.
Yeah.
It's just sort of, when you say country music, I think of America.
Yeah,
of
for sure. Yeah, that's probably the origin. But I mean, even Elvis Presley was country as well.
Yeah.
And Johnny Cash, obviously, and stuff like that. But yeah, so I'm a big country music nerd. And I would love to teach about that.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Right, so that's what you would teach. Who would play you in a Hollywood blockbuster movie?
Who would play me?
Who would play you? Who would have the role of Nici? Who would you? I don't know. It can't be Tom Cruise because he's too short. It's got to be.
That's the thing, right? No, I love Larry David. You know him?
No, go on.
He's the creator of Seinfeld.
Oh, okay.
And there's a fantastic series about him, which is very Seinfeld-like, but it's played by Larry David himself.
Okay.
As an old man in LA. I would love him
to play you.
That would be cool.
Okay. Yeah. Right, this is the hardest question of all.
Yeah.
Dinner with 3 people, okay? Alive or dead. Got to be famous people.
I can't.
Who are you picking?
No, I can't do this. I don't know.
You don't know
No, Neil.
Oh no, I'm not famous at all. No, people are sick of seeing me on podcasts.
No, I'm sorry, mate. I really don't know.
No?
Probably
Okay.
some country music singer.
Dolly Parton.
Maybe Dolly Parton.
Yeah.
If she's I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't
That's
have
all right.
no
That's
answer
good.
to that
That's
one.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, Nici, it's been great today. Hopefully we're going to meet again because we've got an event coming up in a couple of months' time in May. At the Amazon distribution warehouse in the centre of the UK. It'd be great if you could come along and meet our members, because I think there is a huge story to tell.
Yeah.
I think if you could come along to that, if you're available, bring it to life with a bit of a presentation.
Absolutely.
I think it would be really good for our members. But I've really enjoyed today, and hopefully our podcast listeners have as well, and understand a bit more about Alrik Technologies. Obviously, you're on the website. You can Google Alrik and see what it's about and get in contact with you that way. But I think it's going to be revolutionary for the UK, and it's quite an exciting time.
I think so too. Thanks a lot for the opportunity.
Yeah, it's good.
Okay.
Enjoyed it.
Cheers, mate.
Thank you, Nici.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.